executive committee to a meeting that will do the proper investigation. So they need quorum. We want to see whether they have quorum. So all of these things, they are all things that we are looking at, and we have officially written them so that they can respond. If they don't respond, we go with file a motion to dismiss the case because the forum for which they are asking my client to appear is not a competent tribunal, and we cannot submit ourselves to them. But if they give us the paper, we are fully prepared to dismiss that complaint. Nothing is in our complaint. They are alleging that Senator Koga, as a politician, should not have meeting with other political leaders in the country. Where have you seen that? It's in violation of Article 17 that says you have a right to association, and this association, that right is not given to a party, it's given to an individual. Senator Koga did not have a meeting on behalf of MDR, he had a meeting as a private citizen and as a politician of Liberia. Senator of County that Nima will have meeting with a lot of senior minded politicians. So it's not an issue. They said they talked about the issue about he and Vice President Kun. Vice President Kun is not a member of the NDR. So I find it hard to believe that they are even talking about a non-member of a party and want to compare him with a member of the party. We all know the records is at net that the vice president resigned from the MDR and took membership with the Unity Party to become vice chancellor bearer of the Unity Party. So he's no longer a member of the MDR. So everything in that letter, they wrote that our quote-unquote complaint is nothing. But all we are saying is that we have to use the law, and we'll use the law to the full force. We're not going to compromise anything. If it even meant for us to go to the Supreme Court, we'll defend our client up to the Supreme Court.
So I come again. Because in your intro you said Honorable Mr. Kevin Matali is not in good standing with the NDR.
According to their own constitution.
Is it because
he's not a DPL, so he's not in good standing?
So is it because he's not in good standing means that he should not?
He does not have the standing. When you are not in good standing, you don't have the standing. And you understand? You think, if for instance, let's say you might be what a taxpayer to contest. So if you are not a taxpayer, do you think you are a citizen of Liberia, but you are not qualified to contest because you are not a taxpayer? So in their constitution, you have to be in good standing, and he is not in good standing. This man is not in good standing. So they are on fishing expedition. They got nothing. And look, there is like this. This vice president, he got 15 rooms that he control. I mean, he controls 15 counties. Somebody come in here and they say one man is a godfather in one small county, in one county out of the 15. Then it becomes an issue. You get all 15 counties, you godfather of 15 counties. Why are you fighting over one small county? They are fighting because we complain. They are fighting.
There have been a lot of,
and they not just fighting. They include the vice president in the complaint repeatedly, and he is a non-member.
There have been response from the office of the vice president that in no time that the vice president is thinking of becoming godfather of the county. How do you
listen to Onrotimba? Onrotimba said that the program in Gibo was sponsored by the vice president, not him. And we all know the history behind the program in Gibo was for Ella to go and distance himself that Onrokoga is not the godfather. And up to their surprise, the elders said the vice president is on an obligation to reconcile the country. They were telling him that the north in the country, you are the one. They didn't say Garrison, they didn't say Senator Koga. They said the vice president get the duty, the responsibility to reconcile the country. So that the people just told you in Gipo, reconcile the country. 2 days later, you say you will dismiss it. You want to expel the man from his party. And the man is a DUPL. You are not part of the party. But
what is happening?
We will take it one step at a time. We're not going to let anything to slip away. We're going to take it one step at a time. And we will tell them that this country is a country of law. It's not a country of men. And people will come and go. But what we stay is the law. And that the law protects every one of us.
Okay, 2 questions just quickly. Do you trust the alcohol committee established to probe into this matter? And it is a Koga versus Matade or Koga versus MDR case?
It's Koga versus Matade. It's not MDR. Matade wrote a complaint. And the funny thing is, the Constitution is clear. For you to allege that there is something, there must be an injury. What he is injured of? Matade still a member of MDR. He still enjoy a position as assistant minister and everything you think about. He is not injured. And you understand? So I don't know why you're crying more than the bereaved.
On the side of the AGO committee.
The ad hoc committee, the first thing that established, let it be competent, let it be established properly. Then we will see whether they will have credibility. But if the ad hoc committee is not established properly, consistent with law, then we'll challenge it. We'll challenge jurisdiction.
Okay, we need some clarity. Some weeks back, Samuel Kunga appeared on Voice of Nema in Ghana, where he said on the risk issue with the government, like the on-ground that you got dismissed and from a position of the present government yet to pay your money. Where are we? What kind of action you want to take?
But let me tell you one thing. You know where I am. I'm very happy. As you see my body, to tell you that I'm happy. You see, I'm putting on more weight than even when I was working. That shows how relaxed I am. And you know, people don't understand. You don't fight someone who is graced by God. You will not be giving yourself hard time. For me, that question is for Senator Koga. I'm not concerned whether they pay me or not pay me. The government get two more years to go. After that 2 years, they will be leaving power. The next government cannot pay me. And that's my money.
Where's the conviction coming from?
Oh man, these people, they have said destruct. Everything they say that they talk about drugs is not walking street naked in this country. Corruption, they are living and they are family to corruption and living in the same house. And they are not benefiting from the same thing they criticized yesterday. They said, for instance, they can't today. Nema can't give people money when they face the street or Nema can't. They say, oh, that rescue government load. No, that Nema people money. So I come in. That Nema people money. I challenge this government. In 3 years, the only groundbreaking the government are carry on in Nema is the one for that vocational school interpreter. Nema gave their all to this government, and Nema is getting nothing.
The teachers also have groundbreaking for.
Oh man, I think for rescue. All the government have had groundbreaking all around. For the judiciary is a branch of government. And what I'm trying to say to you is, they rescue what their own rescue, their rescue agenda. What they done for Nema. Show me one project for them that they have done within 3 years and completed. We can show you several projects by the CDC government in this country.
People boast on the street instant.
Is that money? Is that money? It's not government money. It's Nema people's money. There's a difference. That's why you see when President Weah was president, he said that gave the power to the county. So we inducted into office the local county council in 2023, and because of that today, the people are making their own decisions. Is that beautiful? I will say that money. They're coming from internal affairs or that Nema people money.
But we're implemented in the regime.
So a type of who regime, why they will not show first?
But all the money you're talking about from the regime of CDC or Liberian people money.
No, listen, we get the Liberian people money, which is the national project. And I'm saying, where is the national project in Nema? You use our money to fit our distributing compound. Where are there's money in the internal affairs budget for that? You call it that you're using our money. And I think we should be focusing on how to save the life of the people, put the money more into the clinics, into the schools, and into the bridges and those things. But beautifying why they say that in Moravia and put rescue working with our own people money, it's a mockery.
The people
as representative, they never receive money. The 10,000 I don't locally just receive.
I mean, I will tell you, everything about rescue is fake. Why will you take the people money and give it to a lawmaker in check? I challenge anybody to go see the records here. When we were in the legislature and they say district lead, we supported our district team from our pocket. In fact, District 4, most of the time I used to buy jersey per game. In fact, I used to give my whole house to them. I feed them on a daily basis until the league can finish. To not take Nema people money that you should use for clinic, and the lawmakers are giving the money as their personal contribution in their name.
They sell the money is for citizen engagement.
Oh man, read the constitution good.
On the other side, how much government?
Oh man, your constitution says the 3 branches of government. One is to what? Interpret the judiciary. Another one is to appropriate and make laws. Another one is to implement. The branch has to implement is the executive. And in my mind, if the superintendent of the county wanted to give money to the various district, I think it was good that she gave the money to the various steering committee of the district.
Give them that man council.
Oh man, lawmakers also will spend money.
So council, let carry your bow.
Frankie, you need to understand that lawmakers should not spend money. The money should be spent by the executive, the lawmaker. That's why you get the local county council.
So
when the local county council make a decision, that money, it's saying for sport, they should go to the various district steering committee.
So do your town a representative? Did you receive any money from the PMC or your county administration?
No. No for citizen engagement, nothing. Even when we were having district meeting, they would tell them, say, yo, go and pay the delegates. We told them nobody.
But what's at the national level? Do you see money for that?
No, the project, legislated EMI project goes to list. It goes to list. List implement. All you do as a lawmaker is to show the project and say, this is the project I want.
So council, let carry bow, Bill. You discuss about the Nima people money.
Yeah.
But the Nima people are celebrating their money instead of you going on the contrary and saying the rescue government is not doing nothing. But the Nima people are celebrating COU. They are celebrating the county administration for utilizing the money.
We know what is PR. And when people using certain people for PR, we know it. When let me tell you, when the auditor comes here, they're going to audit COU not on people dancing in the street. They will audit all aspects of the law.
Okay.
The same people that said the CDC government did not pay Nima a cent, when the auditor came in, George was vindicated because over 12.some million was not appropriated or was misappropriated in Nima. So that even tell you that George we are government 1.5 times 6 years should be what 9 million. If you're even talking about 12 million, that even tells you that and the former administration from the CDC town left money over $1 million in Nima account. It means that President, we are even pay all Nima money, even the debt they were owing, the government were owing during Manaseti time, the Unity Party time, they pay some. So President, we are owing nothing, but it was a propaganda in Nima that President, we did not pay Nima people money. And you understand? When the auditor comes here, they're not going to ask about whether people dancing. You think all the people they accuse you of corruption, you think they're ready to steal money, but they did not follow the law. The law is clear on what you should do and what you cannot do.
Council, lastly, to conclude, you are son of Nimba. This issue of Nima fighting, aside you being from the CDC, what do you hope to see happening after election or even before the election?
I was born growing up in Nima as a county of our diversity. And the only thing we have done always in our diversity that when it comes to Nima, we come together. But political association where people are using to kill people, to do this, to do that, lying on people's knees and all this stuff, it's not good. And you notice the reason I'm all standing for Coca because I have been a victim of lies in the county. People use my name in 2023 when they want to happen to that garrison yellow. When they went to kill me at the radio counter, they said I was there. When they were in Zuwale, where I was in district number 5, they said that garrison yellow. When they were in Waipley, where I was in Morovia, they said that garrison yellow. So I was just an invisible person all over. Only person, they go. That everywhere I was there when I in Morovia, in Nima. When I in Morovia, in district 5. When I in Morovia, in district 9. I'm just saying these people, they are liars. And they came to power on lies. And they are using the same lies to maintain power. And it's unfortunate for us.
Council Jeff from my end. You have been out on a local radio station, even in Morovia, you got to dismiss you for up to present government is here to pay your money. How much government is paying?
Well, that's my personal issue because it's about my salary and all my benefit. So I don't think it's important. Like I said, it doesn't make any sense to me right now. Because I know what you do, all the things we're talking, they will not pay. When I garrison you, they will not pay. They pay all the other people then.
Is how much in question?
Yeah, you want to know, go to finance ministry. The finance ministry will tell you.
Okay,
or you can go to the Freedom of
please
Information
comment quickly about the
Commission, they will help you.
Please comment quickly about the Labour Commission in Nima.
That is one of the things that we are very happy. Methodist have always, and a lot of companies are taking advantage of our people here. The mere fact that you have the labor code in Sani Kole, in Nima, we are very happy. That will solve some of the problem because most of the people here, so soon they say, Mateo, people go Morovia, they already tired. So now that you have the labor code here from the labor ministry, you can take and appeal to the labor code from the labor code before you even be thinking about the Supreme Court. And I think it's a way forward. The Chief Justice, the judiciary did well. So that's one thing that we're all proud of.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
It's good speaking.
That's the voice of Councillor.
Body title refer or confer on Senator Johnson. So in our culture, so when the title is bestowed on an individual personality and the personality dies, and the people repose confidence whosoever succeeding him, symbolically he got to be referred to as that. But God doesn't have father. And interestingly, I want you to go and research on your Facebook or other Facebook posts or other media outlets. Since that old man made that declaration, I challenge anybody. No elder in Nima ever rebut that. I challenge it. Which to say, Koga, you are the godfather we look up to replace Senator Johnson. You are. So with eyes that you always.
Who the old man said?
The old man, the man who said it is a parliament chief. And he is the oldest since 1980 election. He is the only person that serving now as a parliament chief. All the others were appointed. And besides that, he spoke from the cultural background. Not just something he just got up. People are permeating with negativities that Koga went and bribed the old man with $400. Do I know that somebody that can buy popularity? People who know me in Liberia, do I know that somebody that buys sentiment? I am not. I don't believe in that. Let me tell you something. Anybody, a politician who provide fundings for other people to gain popularity is a myth. That
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on your location where you're watching us from. I say welcome to BKS TV. Welcome to the famous E-Tower show here on BKS TV. On the E-Tower, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say worries and not bullet. This is your #1 talk show. We discuss varieties of issues ranging from health, politics, agriculture, entertainment, and a lot more. On behalf of the entire crew here, my name is Junior Payne, and of course I am your host and your producer of this show here too as well. In tonight's edition of the show, we'll be hosting former student leader of Nima County, Mr. J. Horton Noah. Will be our guest here tonight on the show. We'll be discussing Nima interests, Liberia's interests. And indeed, today is the 10th day of the 8th month, 2026. So like Jundopo says, sweet cassava leaf, man. It's not for good that long. You can interpret that in so many ways. But before we bring on the guests here this evening, let's bring you some of the news happening in Liberia today. Senator Augustine S. Chie has commended several Liberians for what he described as their courage and determination to speak out on the alleged drug cartel and demand accountability. We'll bring you more details of this story here this evening as the show unfolds. We are gradually reaching to the 48 hours ultimatum given by President Joseph Human Boakai for the Minister of Justice to investigate the OIC of Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, BIAGO. What will be the outcome of that meeting? What will be the outcome of the investigation? The Liberian people are yet to know. The Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency Commander Moses Jalan previously released after being charged with obstruction related to offenses in connection with the country's $19 million cocaine seizure at the Roberts International Airport, has reportedly been rearrested. Made allegation he attempted to leave Liberia through the same airport. The U.S. charged the affairs, popularly known as the U.S. Embassy, today meets with LMP EPS leadership reaffirms strong community partnership with Liberia. We will bring you more details of this story here too as well as the show unfolds. President Joseph Human Boakai today holds a meeting with senior security sources confirmed. Yet to lay our hands on the outcome of that meeting too as well. But as we do, we'll bring you full details of the story here. Finally, in Liberia, the Liberia Immigration Service, Guinean soldiers held peaceful dialogue at the Solomon border after dispute yesterday. Local authorities in Foya district this morning engaged security officers stationed at the Solomon border following reports that Guinean soldiers have asked officers of the Liberia Immigration Service to vacate their position. The latest development confirms that the Guinean soldiers did in fact demand on Sunday that LIS officers leave their current position at the border. However, the Liberia Immigration Service reportedly stood their ground, after which the Guinean soldier returned to their position. Bring you more details of this story here too as well as the show unfolds. And finally, away from Liberia, Rwanda government has ordered the closure of 101 alcoholic beverages manufacturing facilities and revoked their production license as part of border crackdown. I hope I'm getting your last name correct. Say welcome, Josiah C. Wisek is also watching. Josiah, welcome to the show too as we are watching us on Sekla PA. And so let's bring on the CEO. Let's try to get the conversation started here. Vix Evening, it's great to have you here this evening. How you doing, CEO?
I'm doing good, but yeah, there's styling, not styling, but streaming, I think is very embarrassing. I think your computer too has a lot to do with it though, because even when you were playing the music, it was echoing. But it's great to be back. I like your hat. I just seen hat you wore when Honorable Koga came to Kigali or so. Yeah, when you wear that hat now, then you're ready to cause trouble. But it's great having you on here tonight. Yesterday I missed the show. I was busy. Even today, sir, I was tied up with so many things there. But we'll be having a good time tonight. My brother Jay Hodon will be joining us here within the next second. So yeah, great thing. A lot of stuff been happening in Liberia. A lot of things been happening. A lot of news, a lot of breaking news, national issues. I think the country is there's a lot going on, and I have to say that the president is that's why we elect president, and the president has a lot on his plate. I can say that for sure. He has so much to deal with. The drug issue is paramount to all of them, and then we have the border issue too, and then we have so many things that are happening in Liberia, and everything is with him now. He has to make decisions, and he has to be able to set example, and he has to be able to stop this. And if this is going to stop, it's going to stop the president. I think this drug issue will define President Bouakar's presidency. So you can spin it all you want. The PR people can say what all they want to say, but President Bouakar and Honorable, let's say Vice President Jeremiah Cohn, their legacy, this administration legacy will be defined based on this drug. But we are waiting to hear what they'll say. Series of meetings here and there. And kudos to our American partners. Uncle Sam, you never sleep on Uncle Sam. When they put their hands on something, they don't waver. They hate deception. They hate fraudulent behavior. They hate criminal behavior, especially when it comes to drugs. I know President Trump is really, really into that. So we look forward to seeing what they will do. My brother Ato is joining us here, and then we also have the 48 hours that the president gave to his team to prepare to investigate, look through the claim about the DEA boss there, and get back to him. It's been the 48 hours has passed, so we will want to see what the outcome will be. But overall, it's been a hectic 2-3 months for the president, and we look forward to hearing from him. So yeah, Jay Hodon will be our guest here. He will be joining us here within the next few minutes, and we look forward to having a wonderful, wonderful conversation with him. I said, all the men are coming to do. I hope my brother you're coming for. I hope Sarah there, man. All the guys are coming. So we look forward to having a good time. But Gian, want to mute myself, and you can mute yourself.
Now we are brother.
You know, Geo host. You can follow the page, Jay Hodon from. So you're not prepared for the guest thing, or you're not prepared for the guest. So
no, I wasn't here. I just came from Nimba.
All right, Jim, I'm gonna put myself on mute there, and then you can welcome my brother. Yeah, I thought myself when I read Jersey today, we represented Mayu. But welcome to the show. Before we bring our guests on here shortly, as we always do, we'll give you guys 1 minute each to tell us what's on your mind, and then we'll bring our guests on. I thought we'll start with you.
Okay, so basically nothing new in town. All is just about the government position against the trafficking of drugs into our country. And I think in my mind, we are getting the government has shown some high level of seriousness. So those who doubted the government ability to really chase the cartel, I think they seen it for themselves, evident by the president's action to even allow the ORC of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency to even recruit himself and set a committee within 48 hours time, like you said, the report will be out. So I think we're getting there gradually. At the end of the day, our country will be at certain level really free from the drug trafficking.
Thank you, buddy. 48 hours are gone, more than 48 hours now, so you gotta hurry up. Bro.
Yeah, but the side investigation should be done within 48 hours, so they could complete and submit to the person, and the person will disclose it. The disclosure part is not within 48 hours too now.
Sarah, over to you. The Liberian people are eager; they can't wait to hear what the result will be.
But in the meantime, who investigating who now?
You tell now in your 1 minute now. I tell whatever on your mind, so you tell us.
The government investigating itself. But anyway, it's great. It's great to be here. Good to see you. Oh, Junior dressed like Paramount Chief today. Dana, what's going on? You got something? Hello, you changing to 1 year now? You got something down there. But it's good to be here. Good to see Arthur, Arvin. It's good to be with you guys. Liberia is at a crossroad. As we all know, this country is getting messy and messy every day. Different, you wake up every morning, it's different news about this whole drug thing in the country. Well, we're looking forward. We're looking forward to seeing what this government will really do. Let's see. At the end of the day, people can treat politics as all they can. I mean, whatever they want to do, but Liberia remains. It is our country, and Liberia is all we have. We hope that they will make a better decision in the interest of this country to safeguard this country. As rotten as it is, we can make it better, but it's not a good thing for us. So we look forward to interacting with the guests that's coming today. I don't know who the guest is, but I will check in my group chat. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, the very man with him, Tommy. But anyway, we have our brother Jay Holder Noah. I'll try to fix his banner there shortly. I won't introduce him yet. You know, the man will introduce himself. I wish Chris was on yet because Chris always been talking about, you know, more in the student community, student politics all day, looking for someone in communities with him with student politics. But we have our brother here. We will be discussing a lot of things, everything around Liberia, Nima County, District 6, and all that stuff. But brother, long time, welcome. You know the man was going to be panelist on the show, but the man ran away from yeah. And he coming back as a guest. So we'll find him first. After the fun, then we'll continue the show. But welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you, CEO, Mr. Alvin Secker. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, the hosts, fellow panelists. I want to say thank you for having me on this platform for tonight's discussion.
Thank you. And we have Arthur here. We have Cyrus here. We have Junior, who's the host, but he's struggling with his microphone. So again, welcome to the show. People here know you. I know you personally. You're a good brother, a good friend of mine. Junior, mute yourself. So you want to come in? Let me know that I will mute myself. So as we start the show, usually what we do is we ask that you introduce yourself. We'll have people following, and then the good thing is this show is being relayed on Voice of Tapeta and BKS Radio, so a lot of folks are following. So yeah, introduce yourself, and then we'll start the conversation from there.
All right, thank you. By the way of introduction to the panelists and those in Radio Land, and those who follow via Facebook and YouTube, I'm James Holder Noah, son of Nima, hail from Tapeta, former student union president for Nima student in the Republic of Liberia a couple of years back. So I moved to be part of today's discussion because we feel that a lot is happening in our community we come from, our county, our nation. So we have to, be part of the discourse and show some necessary direction that can be served as a policy decision, and those who are in charge running the affairs of our county, our nations, they can tap on it and make use of it to make progress for each and every one of us. This is why I'm here today.
Thank you. So, which are the district you're referring in my county, the chief?
I said Tapeta District. Tapeta District.
District 6. Okay, got you. So, what's your take on the leadership structure in that place? I know the current lawmaker has been there 2 terms, and from all indications, he's going to go for the 3rd term. You've been back and forth between Liberia and here. You visited that place so many times, and you probably do a lot of stuff over there as well. What's your take on his role so far?
First of all, the leadership of Honorable, I don't know where the echo is coming from. I don't know. Am I better now?
Sarah's, Atos, sorry, you have to mute.
Am I better? All right. So we have been in the district the beginning of this year, and hopefully we will be back in the district. It's my place of birth. I'm there every now and then, even if I'm not there. We have, a platform that we help to provide other assistance and other means of help to our people and our citizens within that part of Nima County. There has been challenges with the leadership that we have seen, and disconnect is one of the major issues we have seen, and the involvement of the citizenry is at a minute portion, and the list goes on, just to name the few. So we feel that, in a direct representation, it is a statutory mandate and rights that people who gave you the opportunity to serve, you must be able to be with them at all times, not on a seasonal basis. Like we see in our body politics, when people are elected, they stay away from our people who gave them the power. So it kind of embarrasses our understanding when it comes to good governance, because every decision that is to be reached in capital building, where our lawmakers will be making laws, there should be a discussion within the district that involves everybody, sampling of views, district but involvement, where people will give their own perspective as in respect to what the situation look like within the district and what they expect you to do. So when some of these things is not happening and we see a disconnect, it kind of create an understanding that people who comes and ask our people for power, they intend to utilize the power instead of using it in a way that benefits people who they are serving. So those are things we have seen over time, and we feel that it's not the right way to go, because like Woodrow Wilson said, the voice of the people must ring with the ears of their leader. You must be able to take criticism. You must be able to have a Palau Hall discussion. You must be able to have development discussion. Let the people get involved. Let them tell you their priorities. Because in government development planning, you must be able to get the citizenry involved. Let them tell you their priorities, their needs for long-term and both short-term. Which one of the projects and programs that they are actually interested in, that they want within that direction. So those are things we have seen over time that is not being, followed. We feel that is a recipe for, bad leadership style, is a recipe for keeping us underdeveloped. And by that, we have to make, a comeback to discuss some of these issues so that we can have a way forward.
Do you think he deserves a third term in District 6?
I, absolutely, I don't want to believe that, because seeking third terms, there should be, the work you have put in, the work should speak for itself. Because before you incentivize, a leadership to say, I have done well, it should be the beneficiary who are within the district. They're supposed to see the good work. They're supposed to see what you have done over time. But I cannot just come and praise myself as James to say, oh, I have done well for my people, and therefore I'm going for second term or I'm going for third term. It is the work I have done for the people will encourage the people to have me petition. But in our body politics, it's on the adverse, or is a different version of it. People just go out there, pay a few gentlemen who have the time to go to their homes or their district to visit, and then they just petition you. So is this its honest petition? Is this petition is in line with what you've been doing over time? Those are questions that people are asking themselves. If you could follow the Facebook page of Voice of Tapeta, it was laughable. Who be petitions and people gave you all these latches? And I feel that was a red flag. If I was him and thinking about third term, I would decide what my fallback position would be like, because you cannot do all this work within the scope of 1.5, let's say two terms, and then you being petitioned and people are just hostile. I am just saying, if I were him, because you have to understand, when people are satisfied, the praises, the diction they use is quite a soothing, but that was not the case. So that shows to me nothing has been done in the district by this honorable man.
Thank you. And then this will be my last question. We'll go to our other guys here. So yeah, the petition, I saw that it was done by youth of MDR, some young people from his party there. But anyway, so last election, there were rumors around that you were going to contest, and you did not contest the last time. So do you have plans of contesting the upcoming election 2029, representing your people of District 6?
One thing I can tell you here by and large is that we are not in electionary period. We are still, there are years to election, all right? So I cannot say there to give you, a clear-cut answer, yes or no, that, oh, I will be contesting. There are years to election. We want to give, the process a chance. We do have a leader who is currently leading us, and the district has seen his leadership start. So when the time comes where NEC will be, by law, declaring all position vacant, and let's see why, the next step can be. But at this moment, I want to give the process a chance. I want to be more professional. I don't want to jump the gun.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, gentlemen, we have Jay Holden on here with us. As you guys can tell, the man I put his student leadership hat on. I wish Chris was here, because the man always been looking for us, those that serve as student leaders in Liberia. But it's a great show. Thank you so much for answering my question. We have a lot to discuss. We will talk about the NIMA caucus, the leadership in NIMA across the board. We'll leave your district. We'll come to NIMA in general. We'll talk about Monrovia, then we'll talk about the drugs issue and all that stuff. So I'll stop there.
And I have been.
Yeah, thank you. I will you over to the host here. The host with his, I know that Kigali hat or that, which are the culture hat there, and we'll go from there.
I was gifted this hat as the godson of Nima, so I'm enjoying my my godson hat here. But again, I want to say welcome to the show, Mr. Noah. It's great to have you on here this evening. Let's go back to your district. Your district is maybe the third district in Nima that has most of the high schools. What are you doing in your capacity as student leader to see our best from Tapeta Memorial to the rest of the schools in Tapeta to get that kind of student advocacy that you guys had before to hold lawmakers accountable? Because we're not seeing these things anymore. We're seeing you young people just going behind politicians, praising them, but not holding them accountable.
You know, one thing I will tell you here is that leading people is by passion and is by calling. You must first of all be disciplined, considering the role you're about to serve. You must be financial discipline so that you would not be corrupt. People who you intend to lead, you will be providing an opportunity that you yourself would not partake in. So when we were student leaders at the time, just to give you the background of where I have come from and what I have done in the district, we put ourselves last and we serve the interests of our colleagues who were lowest. Some of them, is no disrespect to them, their parents never had homes in Monrovia, and we felt that their situation was more tense than ours because my parents had homes in Monrovia and I stay free of charge, no rent free, not buying food, and so we gave most of our opportunity to our friends who were actually in need. Fast forward, when the county development, funding for NEMA students were tempered with, by the late Clinton Lewa, administration. November 9, 2013, we have held all consultation with the 11 lawmakers from NEMA at the time. We had Senator Groupie and the late Senator Johnson, and then followed by rest of the lawmakers at the time, Aaron Timba, Garrison Yelu, our current vice president at the time, he was representative, Larry Yonkoye, and rest of the guys. So one of the things that I see in our community is that our leaders don't have a listening ear when there is a racing, crisis. We always want for crisis to happen before we start to make intervention. At that time, if you were to go on Google or any of the news platform to search their website, NEMA student, stampede the corridor of the home of the legislature, the first branch, and we demanded honorable leadership, all because I wanted for some of these students who duly elected them along with their parents for NEMA County should have an opportunity, because human capital development was seen as one of the premier factor by my leadership. So by that, we could not sleep on the meaning of having our kinsmen in school. So we did that. And that year, the 200,000 was not made available. Half of the amount were made available. And we asked our colleagues to utilize it so they can find themselves in school. Going back to Tabada District, what I have done. As James Holden known, my father served NEMA as development superintendent. So we come from a development background. Squared it. I've had my program running by my own platform. My first nonprofit organization I established with the Liberian government is called Innovative Partner Network Liberia. We were seeing when the 30,000 was given during the WIA administration, when we were pressed with the COVID pandemic to ensure that we fight against, the lawmaker went and the money that was given, it was not able to serve the district in terms of, having these materials and all that. I was in America here at the time, schooling, like the same way I am. We were able to make funding available with our friends, because when I graduated, in my first program, I came top of the class. The second program, I came top of the class. So the NSLA actually, asked me to do a life-changing program, which I was able to have 20,000. I was able to win 20,000 from my grant I wrote. So I intended to use some of this money in my community that I grew up. So this is how we set up the committee. And today the pictorial, the videos, everything are there for record. But it's not so much about record, because we do these things because we come from there. And there are anything, God bless you, where you can be able to give back to your community. The team that we set up went into the various communities. They shared these things, and everybody at the time was able to get. And not that, cleanup campaign in Tabata. We have done it in 11 zones. And in more recent time, 2006, May 17 to 18, we have a unique medical team that went to the Blood Yara area. We serve people, first of a kind. We were not able to donate the medication to hospital or health center because when we did our survey through a firm that we hired, what came out from these community dwellers, they told us that whenever drugs is donated to these health centers, the chances of getting it, exclusively is difficult. So we decided to do it different this time around. So this year, May, in the Blood region, we were able to set up a medical team that did a medical outreach in the Blood region and probably a portion of Bowman-Quilla. So we have always been involved with our district. Even during the Ramadan, we were on record, making sure that our Muslim brothers who are praying for the peace of our district and our nation, we give them food and sukai during the Holy Ramadan celebration. And during the Easter, we were there again with 3 pioneer churches in Tapeta district. We're talking about the Catholic, the St. Francis Parish, and the May Baptist, church, and the inline church in my own community, New Tapeta, behind the old government clinic. There where I stay and there where I grew up. So we were able to identify with these religious community and institutions as a way of giving back to our community. And many things we have done that I could not name everything, but I will just highlight the few that I just explained. So those are things we've been doing and we continue to do.
Yeah, human capacity building is something that I know you and I will talk about. Something very important, close to my heart too. And I think beyond politics or beyond anything, if you do that, it goes a long way. The guy that asked a question, I let that man drop off here, so he will probably come back. But over to you.
Yes.
So what's his name? Ato. You probably know our brother Holder. You guys are all from around there, all of us. So we're having conversation here. So I don't know if you got questions for him regarding District 6, but don't jump in front of us when it comes to our other discussion. You're from District 6, right?
Yeah, I don't want District 6.
I love District 6. So at the right place to ask. So let's see, what's your take on that?
Yeah. Hula is my brother. Yeah, Hula,
Sure.
how you doing? Long time. Good to see you, man.
I'm good. Likewise,
the
myself,
last time-
Ato. Nice.
Yeah,
nice
the
to
last
meet you.
time I heard you came to town, but I did not see you, and you went back.
Yeah, the time was fast spent.
Yeah.
I had some work to do in Lagos, Nigeria.
Oh, okay, that's great. And see you, Hula, we have known one another for a long time, a very long time. Very long time. We came very close, so we are brothers. So Hula, my District 6, if I'm not making mistake, since District 6 got created as electoral district, the first representative should be restored, isn't it?
Let's say Edwin Power Gay.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Edwin Powergate. Yeah, you're right. Edwin Powergate. That's great. So my question comes from the background that District 6, since you and I are closely following the district, to see District 6 giving a second term to a lawmaker, you have been a very difficult situation. To the extent that the name you just called Edwin Powergate did not receive the second term. Then he came represent the Restore also to try, and he did not receive a second term. But Doran Glikia, who won Representative Restore, was massively given a second term. So the situation or the issue with him, not quote unquote listening, like you said, not listening to the people, whether from the youth, whether from the elder, whether from the women grouping. When they come, when they start, because the reason I'm asking the question is that to get a second term, I say I mean a difficult thing. But Representative Gliga received a second term. And his second term, he had just gone 2 years, 6 months, or 7 months in his second term. So if he got issue with listening and not collaborating with the people, or not or not cooperating with the people, how did he receive a second term? That's my question.
All right. In political analysis and in state leadership, more especially when it comes to legislature, I'm a student of government squad from Political Science Department on procurement. So I'll be discussing on the basis of what leadership should be and what it is. So there is political wait and see, which has to do with the short term and the long term wait and see. In the first term, you are new to the position. There are other things you'll be oblivion to, and there will be consideration. He just get there. Sympathetic mind comes to play with situation. He just got there. He just got elected. Let us give him the chance. There are things he started. Let him be able to do it in the second chance. The first term, not so much is expected. Second term, much is expected because you already know your role. You already know your role in second term. So if you try not to do what is laudable, and everybody here now, review government functionary, and Liberia is a very small nation. We see each other, those that serve us, we see their lifestyle, we see what they do, and those around them, we know exactly what they do. So the reality here is that most of these things that is triggering with the issue of District 6 is not something that people have to communicate, abroad. Because there are people who come from a district, live in the capital. And at the same time, they have their own children too who live within the capital, who see things, who know what comes in and what is not being utilized. So that's where most of these things comes from. So I'm just telling you that the wait and see is being performed, and at the end of the day, it yield no result. And more besides, you have to look at the actors within elections. Last election, when you see the actors that was in the election, they could not really reconcile, the district, all right? Because people who were in the election could not understand, what the district won in terms of legislative performance. Some of them were seriously, disconnected to the running of what? The lower house. So this play one of the this was one of the factors. If you look at some of those brothers, what is their own involvement? How do they follow national discourse? What is the ability to reconcile the district to show direction? Those are things that people were looking for. And at the end of the day, we could not find that candidate. And one of the candidates who could be, he was new to the district. He was not even born and raised in the district. He was raised in the West, and at the end of the day, he don't really know what the district wanted. I understand he had a little bit of vote, on the religious basis because of his grandparent, connections. But at the end of the day, the typical persons who understand Tapetonia lifestyles, that needs and wants and how we can set agenda for district development and improvement, those persons was not seen. Because I have lived my life all through in Tapeta Saitire district. Even under the leadership of our late representative, Dwayne, I was in Tapeta. There were a lot of people who we could see them leading people the right way, and there were things that we can recall at this moment and tell somebody I know. People who led us in this district years back, they did things that were inclusive, they did things that were developmental oriented, they did things that brought us together, they did things that were not divisive. So we feel we cannot go this way. So if you see such a candidate in a race, the race becomes competitive. But if you see people who are not even resembling, who can bring the force, who can bring, the competitiveness to the discourse, the end of the day is a free ride. So I felt that last election, it was a free ride because men who understand the dynamics of the border politics of our district and our nation, they were not in the election. So by that, it was a walk in the park for Twan Glukia, our honorable person. So like I tell you, My father served Nimba County as development superintendent. He died in office, June 1, 1985. My uncle, Kone John, was a member of the PRC. He comes from Tabata District. We lived there. We went to Kiantori, Kanama. We paraded in our place and we came back to Tabata with vacation. I went to school in Francis. I left Tabata. I got friends that I went to school with. And today they are there. And I'm still maintaining my connection with them. This is why I'm giving back to the district. And I'm a son of Tabata. So there is no need. I have a bigger stake in the development of Tabata. If we fail as Tabatorian, they will not be talking to our children then. They will be talking to us because our Father got us in our place, because we failed to take triumph of our destiny. So this is why. But this time around, we feel it will never and ever be a walk in the park. It will never be.
Thank you. I think you're coming. I want to ask, is it true that you guys are the civilized, the most civilized, the Mayans from Nimba County, the Tabata people?
Everybody from Nimba County are civilized. Okay.
Yeah, indeed. This you are right.
Why so? Because I hear that a lot. I want to know the history behind that thought.
Yeah, my son asked the same question one time to my grandfather too. And he told me, he said, the Congo poor when they came those days, the Congo poor and the Pisco poor when they came those days, they let in Tabata through the May Baptist people. You see, there's another coming parents live in Tabata too. So that's the reason why you see our mothers from Tabata, they can be old and what they speak a very good English. Very good, they live with the Pisco poor, they took opportunity of the education they got. So Tabata poor, particularly in Nimba, they are the more organized and civilized people. And it's true.
When Sarah's about to respond, I think you will probably want to say one or two because from District 4. So, Sarah, I just wanted to add
to what I just said so we can have
okay, go ahead, Chi. You the guest. So, go ahead.
So, we had a lot of Congo guys that Otto said. We had the Tommy Bonard. We're talking about Archie Bonard's father. We have the Dan family who had the rubber property, who have farm along the way going to Tabata. And we had the Gurish family from the Blood Diala and Nena, where Regina Guri, who served Charles Taylor government as information minister, comes from. And then we had the Reeves from around the St. Francis area going to Banagir up the hill there. So we have many guys who settled there because they found life and they found peace in Tabata. So going to Quendin, the KVDC, Quendin Vocational Institute, by Todman, all this area, it was highly developed. It was a boarding school where, people go and have a sophisticated, education. And when it comes to town, they compete with whosoever. So by then, it was a place that was very quiet for a lot of developments. And we had the TMC at the time that was doing, logging company extracting, timber from our forests. And at the same time, we have the St. Francis, mission built there. We had the Maybach there. We had airstrips and all these things happen, like it brought a lot of, eye opener and eye-catching development, for exposure. So practically, some of us, we practice, high school journalism, quizzing and all this stuff. So when we comes to Monrovia, we are not just oblivion to things. We are already being, taught some of these life-changing skills and all that. So we are exposed to a lot of things.
Okay,
this is why you
thank you for setting Tabata. Thank you for setting Tabata. We'll tell you why the District 5 people are the most civilized people. I don't laugh over that. Seriously, I'm talking about District 5 people are the most civilized people in my country. But I think Ato has one more question for you, and then from there we'll go to Sarah.
See you at District 5 people, you'll give your heart up. No, man, see you. No, actually, I don't have second question for Huda. I think Huda is doing well.
Okay, good. What's the name of Junior? You were in flight there. You asked one question, then you ran away. So if you want to complete your question, then we'll go to Sarah.
Let's go to Sarah because this is my mark here. Maybe I can be the last.
I know Stream you're having issues, but I think most of the problem from Junior side because when he come in, they can start giving a hard time. But Cyrus, we have our brother Jay Hold on here, who's in conversation with us here. You know, a very knowledgeable young man when it comes to politics, Liberian politics, leadership, and all that stuff. Good friend of mine, and I think you can see a lot of people are following tonight and listening to this conversation. So, yeah, you listen to him. Ask you 2 questions, and then from there we'll go to Nima Kante.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you, Hoda. Thank you for being on the show tonight. I don't think I have a question for you when it comes to the district level. Whatever you guys do at a district level is what it is. All we want is better Nimba, better Liberia. But we will. I may have a question if we start to discuss a national issue or discuss the whole Nimba County. I might be able to have some questions for you. But I want to differ with your analogy that Tabita is the most civilized force from Tabita. I don't know what are your definition of civilization. What are you considering to be civilized people? Or maybe, I'm not sure. Everybody defines civilization in a different form and manner. But considering
Sorry, I asked the question.
Yeah, but they explain.
But then you make your points. Give a reason why they are not. Talk about this before. The private bad man.
No, hold on, Chief. I'm making my point. You listen to it. You listen to both of them, and they talk about missionaries going to Tapita, and they spoke English early on. But does it mean that missionary going to somewhere it means a civilization, or speaking English at the time is a civilization, or Congo people living a settlement, settling in places that are civilization? So everyone sees civilization in a different form and manner, but I would not consider that as a civilization because civilization might be different. But however, for the sake of this conversation, let's move to another. Maybe we can move to Nimba County so we can have a better discussion.
We'll close our conversation tonight with that.
Let me say this. On the basis of social learning theory in criminal justice argued by Alva Bandura and Hershey. Squarely, I'm speaking from the context of social learning theory. All right, your environment has impact on your learning process. So this is why we mention people who were already sophisticated and prepared. Being a resident of Tapita at the time, it changes a lot of things in terms of civilization. But I feel everybody from Nimba County are civilized based on your own application of your education.
Thank you so much, Junior. We gotta go to Nimba County. You got questions? If you don't have questions, then I will go straight to Nimba County, the caucus, and our $10,000. I know that one part. All the men will have questions about.
Yeah, I think I have one question on top of that issue. But again, I agree with the analogy of Cyrus. I differ with Mr. Noah. Civilization came from right here, Africa. So when you're talking about Peace Corps people bringing civilization back to the people who started civilization, I find it difficult to believe. But that's your school of thought. Maybe we can have a lengthy discussion on that another time to come. But I want to take you back to Tapita. What do you think is the problem with your current representative when it comes to his 3 cardinal responsibility? Is he doing them very well? If no, where do you think he's not doing well? And what are your recommendations for the people?
Lawmaking, and oversight, and the other one which I would not want to name, is a cardinal responsibility of a lawmaker. But here is the thing, right? Like I said, we have a process ahead. But today or tomorrow, the work that we do, it gives the opportunity for our people to look our way. Honestly. Because in a direct representation, you must be able to do the job that you sign out for. So if you see the vice majority incentivize that this is not what we expected after they have played the wait and see, the end of the day, the next will not be what you expect. But at the end of the day, we feel that there is problem seriously in our district, and the lawmaker cannot handle the district like the way it should be. So this is where, some of us today are being discussing some of these things to see change, but to no avail. Because let's take, for example, the guys who run those electoral districts in America here who sit at Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C. They have people who come from very professions, but they work as technicians in their offices and they gather information where the lapses are, where the connect supposed to be, they present it, and it's being articulated. They bring people together inclusively, for development purpose, discussing, development matters and all that. But you see, in our governance system, people are only reliable and people are only receptive when they're canvassing for position. But critics should be our best friend in our body politics, because the one who tell you your wrongdoing, he helps to pull you on path. He helps to pull you on track. But to our utmost surprise, when you sign a caveat in our body politics, you becomes, that man is not part of us, or we cannot work with this man. But as a professional and a career politician, some of us, we take criticism because it helps to make you a better person. And this is why some of the guys who come from the NGOs background, they don't understand these things. Because at the end of the day, like Woodrow Wilson said, the ears of the leader will always ring with the voice of the people. Because when you tend to, the people from New Tabata, you're doing so much, the people from the Manakan community, they start to seek attention. Oh, we are no longer, part of this district. The man who's supposed to be our leader, he's doing so much for the people of New Tabata. You have to turn it other way, because you're not going to be comfortable in that position. Whenever there is comfortability, there is a disconnect.
So are you implying that people from the NGO do not tend to be good politicians, political leaders, or representatives? Is that what you're implying?
The school of thought is different. The school of thought is different because for us, we are political scientists. I just gave you my position. For an undergrad, this is what I do rest of my life. And all my studies are being in the context and in the confine of leadership. So even if I'm sleeping, you wake me up, I'm dealing with non-profit organization, and
there's an echo.
How we can set the stage. We can set the stage and make sure solve some of the problem or what appears to be the problem. We can talk it out and make it work. So when it comes to central government, where we have 3 distinct branches of government, we're talking about the first branch is a different way of working. It's a different way of working. You cannot work in a direct representation in isolation of the people you tend to serve, because at some point in time, your disconnect, we can solicit 10,000 signatories and call you back. Those things can happen because
one may say Jay Noah is not being very receptive to the lawmaker because he's not in a position right now. But if he goes there, he will just do exactly the same thing.
Now we are all different people with different school of thoughts. Like I told you, I'm not in the district. I'm here schooling. My involvement is always in the district. My home is in the district. New Tabata. Go there. People will take you there. So I'm not a stranger. I live in this place since my father passed. 1985, my mother took me to Tabata. I've been in Tabata the rest of my life. I have friends that I can call by names. We sat in classroom and we did everything. All the villages around there, I know everything. So I'm no stranger. I'm no stranger. So it's not a matter that, I'm speaking out of animosity. No, it's far from that. But the reality here is that we are talking about people who take hold of affirmation to lead people and show direction, who have failed on their promise and on their strategy. This is what we are saying. The
Thank
best
you.
thing we
Over
ever
to you,
had in
CEO.
Canada is the JFD. After JFD, we got nothing, my brother.
Thank you. And I think the reason I asked that question, I have a different school of thought when it comes to that. I think NGO coming from a non-for-profit background and going to politics, it actually even helped a lot. There are thousands and countless of politicians. Even if you go like Liberia said, our former president Ellen Sally Johnson came from that background too as well. So I don't think it's about the background. I think it's about the will for people to do that. You don't have to be a pure political scientist to be a good leader or a good politician. You can come from business background. The country we live in, they have most of the lawmakers. They came from their personal. They got businesses. They run companies. Some people run big NGOs, and they come from there. They go and go around. But I agree with what you're saying, though. I just don't agree with the fact that, the background kind of steer you from being a good leader. I think those who are failing us there, they're just those who want to fail. They don't have good leadership structure. So regardless of your background, leadership is
My
the
focal
same.
point here, I think, is the school of thought. Because if you come from any other background, your school of thought, gives you the opportunity to put theory to practice, to give to the people your best. You practice what is right, and you serve, at the equilibrium level. So this is why, for me, at time and discussion around school of thought. If you are a mean man and you believe that your school of thought says you should be a mean man, you just have to be a mean man for the time you serve the people for. And at the end of the day, the trickle down effect, as per your leadership, it won't have that impact on the people. So this is why you see, the school of thought, messes people, on ambition and potential. It's very cardinal, because at the end of the day, you don't see what is going on with yourselves, because people who you lead are the mirror who sees you, who see what you do, how you are leading the affairs of them or the district. So if somebody comes out to speak out, you just understand that, oh, this person don't love me. But sometimes it doesn't mean that the person hates you, but this person is trying to remind you or inform you on what you should have known or done differently.
Thought-provoking conversation. District 6, a lot of people down there, and I like the advocacy. That's what we also do too. We do the same thing with our district, and the people can be disagreeing with all. I thought the other men can be hitting on. When we disagree, they say we co-got people. When we ask our representative question, they say we co-got people. But anyways, great stuff. I know Ator, yourself, Cyrus, and also our honorable guest here. You guys have been following the debate surrounding that 10,000 stuff in Liberia, in Nema County. I don't think we should leave it. I think it's something that is worth looking into.
We have to.
When you were in advocacy, you probably follow a lot when it comes to county leadership, the structure, how our monies were spent, and all that one. But recently, our superintendent, the local government there, gave out $10,000 to each of our representatives for the purpose of legislative engagement, and then / the district league. And you've been seeing all the outcry. A lot of people have been having different opinions on this, and I would love to hear, Mr. Holder, your take on this. Interestingly, first of all, I have to acknowledge the fact that our soup has been doing a great job. She's been doing a wonderful job of development at Nimba. But then, not too long after we flagged that and we started talking about the 10,000, we've seen barrages of the beautiful pictures coming from Saninkole, all over the place on everybody's platform, showing the great work that she's doing. And no one is taking that away from her. What we are asking is accountability, how our monies are being spent, and how our lawmakers specifically are using our money. The $10,000 was given to them. Was it the right thing to do, to give $10,000 to each lawmaker for a merit district lead, or is this something that the lawmakers themselves were supposed to support? I listened to Honorable Councillor Garrison Yelu today, And he said something that caught my attention. He said, you know, lawmakers, the way the laws are set up, they are not supposed to be the ones spending. You know, when they were there, they used lists. They will go identify a project and then they take it through lists and then they will go and implement that. But when you look at the three branches of government, the lawmakers, their function is not to spend money, but more of an oversight and stuff. So, Mr. Noir, I want to get your take on this. What's your take on this whole 10,000? Do you think it was the appropriate process? Was it worth it, or something that you have question about?
The issue of disbursing 10,000 to each electoral district, to a district electoral district representative, was not a financial best practice. I will tell you for a fact, because if you look at the superintendent in the federal rule, she is considered as a governor. So by law, she should have her own projects and programs for the youthful community of Nema County. And every expenditure should be accounted for when it is time to give us, you know, a comprehensive financial report. All these items will be reflected in our financial report. So look at the three branches of government. Executive gave opportunity to superintendent, you know, to decentralize, you know, the government activities within the counties. So by statutory law, you remains answerable to the executive branch of government. So looking at the first branch of government, because when Baron Dimatisky argued, you know, the separation of power, it placed every three branches of government in the position that one shouldn't be, you know, powerful than the other. So now, why is it that the first branch of government, members from Nema County, are influencing the executive within the county? Is she not wanted to spend the money on the youth and sport activity within the county? She can do that. This is where we draw a line and underscore the way in which, you know, the money was disbursed. And categorically, we want to tell people that it was wrong. That was not a best financial practices within Nema County. Because if we are to disburse such a funding today, we must be able to have a town hall discussion. We must be able to do the survey, the feasibility study. How many persons from each district are we catering for? How are we going to host these people? Are they going to be in guest house? Or are they going to be in Hotel Avino in Ganta? We have to take this into consideration. Feeding, lodging, all this stuff has to be, you know, taking into consideration. Allowances. So you just went ahead and gave 10,000, and some of these people in the second round, it's gonna be a knockout. When they beat you, you're going back to your district. So the thing here is that on the Local Government Act, we have to spend money based on priorities and needs, because there are some critical needs of our people within the county. It's not sport. We are not in any way against sport, but it's the way in which you intend to use our money. If you use it the wrong way, we feel that we won't have that impact. But if you use it in the area that we feel that is necessary, you will see so much applause, you know, coming towards you. But in this line, I feel that, you know, the soup herself, she needs to be careful how she spend the budget she got, because you will understand that financial sustainability and transparency is one of public trust, because even the stakeholder you are working with, they will be watching and making sure how well you're spending this money, what are some of the projects and programs that you are spending money on, and everything will be appraised based on compliance. So if you don't spend this money well, who do you hold
accountable? Let me ask you a follow-up there before you continue. Who do you hold accountable in this entire situation? Is it the lawmakers or
I said the superintendent? I'm saying it. I said it.
But why would you blame the superintendent when the money was being allocated? Why will you blame the superintendent? Her job is to allocate the money, and it was received by the representative.
This is what I told you. I said that there is role conflict. The representatives are from different branches of government. All right, they are from different branches of government, but we can invite them to our town hall meeting, since in fact they are lawmakers from Nima County when we are doing the county setting to draw the agenda. This is why you see that project, it don't go through the superintendent office, it go through Lay's office. They don't give them budget. They only submit projects. So whatever I'm telling you is what on the book. It's all about, good governance. Because if you read some of the act that created, the Good Governance Commission in Liberia and what the role is supposed to be in terms of, a decentralization, all these things I'm telling you is part of it. So there is no way. I have been to county setting in Nima County on numerous occasions when Garrison was represented. Even our current vice president, when he was represented at the time, I have always been eager to learn. This is why I told you I've come squarely from the background of leadership and have been foreign things. So there is no way you can give me, a placebo. Whatever is not right, I will identify it. Because this is why you see, your school authority will always give you the leverage to see what is right and what is wrong.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So what's his name? Ato. We've had this discussion before. We've talked about it. I know you have a different take on this. From your vantage point, from your own view, and everything that you learned so far about this, from the lawmakers accepting this money and using and presenting it as if it was their own donation, to the local government dispersing this money. Who do you hold responsible? First of all, do you think it's the right thing? If so, why?
Okay, so CEO, I will answer your question, but I will not answer in the yes or no form. So yeah is my thought on the entire 10,000 issue. I think we had a conversation before, and I partly expressed that. The first thing is that the caucus or the county sitting currently that is going on, it is partly different. The new county sitting now, the procedures now is partly different than the county sitting who mentioned that he needs to attend. Why is it partly different? The local government act of 2018 draw down a 9-man council. The 9-man council represents represent the various sector in the county, be it the religious, the educational sector, the Muslim community, the youth representative, the civil society. And by the matter of fact, the local government act was clear that the head of the county seat of the county council, the 9-man council, should be a civil society person. It should be a civil society person. So it tells you the kind of involvement, the inclusive involvement the law tried to draw down. So now, was there money resoluted by the 9-man council? Yes. The 10,000, current 10,000 that we're discussing, is it the first time for the money to be resoluted in our county council decision? No, it is not the first time. It's something that has been happening. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get it where we want to pull the superintendent and get her involved. The superintendent is the administrator. She's the implementer of the decision made by the county council. The county council is almost like they are almost like a lawmaker for the county. They are almost like a representative. They made a decision. Lawmakers were making a pass. In the past, lawmakers were heavily influencing a county council. But now it's not the case. The 9-man council made a decision and they made a decision based upon the priority of the county. You know what I'm saying? So their money is not the first time. Their money has been resoluted long time before they've been receiving. It's just by coincidence that the money was received in the time where the district lead is on. So in my mind, the error that is there is the lawmakers should have explained. Information is important. When you keep people in doubt, they will speculate. The lawmakers should have explained. And that is why when you read the resolution, the resolution that was passed, that the money was mentioned, you see, it's a legislative engagement. It is in the budget, it was passed. So for the fact that it was passed, the superintendent had no choice but to implement what the Name Council resolved. But the lawmaker, the error the lawmaker have been making is that the explanation to the public, that have been an issue. That's why you see the post speculating. That have been an issue. And I agree with you, that the presenter elect, it was their good that they were doing. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I think what we're reading and the procedure that have been taking place in the country, not only Nima but other countries, that money, it was a legal money, but it needed sufficient education to inform our people as to how the lawmaker got involved.
Also, given the fact that one of the lawmakers
to a point.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead,
Oda. This is what I'm saying, right? Because in a direct representation, your earning is for you. What came from the superintendent office that was disbursed by the Name Council you mentioned, it was not for representative. Was this money taken to the electoral district, to the citizenry, to have them informed that this is why the county has for us through the Name Council for the sport event of the very electoral district? It was not discussed. So what I'm trying to single out from what you just explained here is that the law is ambiguous in the sense that it doesn't work right for Nima County, and that law, we will recommend that law be repealed because there is an exception to it. You cannot just have a Name Council who you think whatever they're going to be doing or whatever they have done in the past and the current one is not law and gospel. It's not in any way in the interest of the county. Because, like I said, in a direct representation, people who you are leading must have a greater say in their development agenda. I can't be looking for safe drinking water. You bringing me sport. You bringing me things that has to do with ration and all of that. My environment needs safe drinking water. My clinic need medications. We have pregnant women. We have children. So these are priorities that we feel our money is supposed to be heavily spent. And we will not have all the public outcry and all that. But there will be recommendation, for some of these draconian laws should be repealed from the book. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to say, people use all that. We don't know what we're doing. We're not going to say that because there's a county that, our parent blood was shared for. And what are we benefiting? What the citizens are benefiting? This country is developing on the sweat and blood of others who laid their life down. So we need to see the right thing happening. It's not about politics. This is void of politics. But we are speaking in terms of what? Good governance. If you cannot drink dirty water, don't serve nobody dirty water. If somebody gave your child money, your child will wait for you and say, oh, daddy or mommy, this is what this person brought for you. You can't intend it to be like, oh, daddy, this is what I got for you. No, it's wrong. Common sense. The money was not for no lawmaker. But we saw our lawmaker, petition himself. We saw our lawmaker, celebrating, his birthday. And a lot of things was going on. So how can you reconcile that? There was no public gathering in Tabata District to say this, what came from the superintendent office by the Name Council, and I receive it on behalf of our district. They say, the sporting committee, what you guys can do, y'all go to work. Y'all make all the analysis. Let's see how much you guys can spend. The rest we can save it for other development. It was nothing like that. Do you think there's a right procedure, even if you receive money, to keep it to yourselves? Like it's for you? It's criminal in nature. Let us face the fact. Common sense will tell you. There are a lot of us come from Nima County. We are level-headed people. Nobody should treat us like we will not have opportunity in future to even serve one of our community.
Thank you.
Because everything they are doing here now is what antecedent. It becomes antecedent to what? Public policy. You understand, during the TICO administration, when the Clinton level, administration went and fenced the sport page in Sunny Cody, the spending never went through the PPCC process. At the time, our vice president, he was represented at the time. We flagged the issue under the banner of Nusa and Wafenesu. We were in Uganda on Radio Kagima, Radio Nima, Radio Tabata. We discussed the issue lengthily and it went across Nima County. He was one lawmaker who came at the time. He said we were in error. We were in error. So it's the same old thing that is going on, but it's not a best practice. The Name Council, by the grace of God, it will be resolved and will repeal that law, and we'll have a law that works for every one of us, that will hold everybody accountable when it comes to our public funding, how it's spent and how our reporting system works. All these things, people don't see it. Why are people running government in bed? Because if you are doing a credible work, the work must speak. The report should be out there for public consumption because it's a public document. But everything is held confidential. Is that good governance? No.
Thank
So
you.
this is
Thank
where
you.
we come from. We are not against nobody.
Thank you. And from what I've learned or what I've heard is it's not even a 9-man council. I think they have 7-man council instead of 9-man council. Even though the law said 9, I heard that 2 of them, the civil servant guy who was young, he's no longer there, and they have yet to replace the 2, so they're actually operating with 7-man council instead of 9. But Cyrus Balier.
So
it means that there was not a quorum. There was not a quorum. They can restitute the money by law. We can sue.
CEO, 1 minute. Can I provide information quickly to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened is that hold on, there's a quorum. There are 9. So 7 can make business. But more besides that, that's not the clarity I thought to provide. The clarity I thought to provide is that the civil society guy they went to election, they elected one person. And in that election, the guy who lost the election filed an appeal that the election was fraudulent. When he went to the court, when he went to the second court in Senegal, the guy who won the election lost the case in the court. Then the guy who lost took an appeal to the Supreme Court. He took an appeal to the Supreme Court. So when he went to the Supreme Court, I don't know whether the Supreme Court have come down with ruling, but up to now they are yet to send a representation because of that dispute. So that is the reason.
Okay, how about other guy? Because
so agree with me, there was no quorum there. Still, there's no quorum because the 9-man council is still on a question.
No, hold on.
It's still on a question from what you just explained.
Hold on 1 minute now. Hold on 1 minute. Out of 9 persons, 7 can make business, they're 2 absent. 7 can make business, they're 2 absent. Hold on. 7 can make business.
Okay, Chief. Thank you. Cyrus, over to you.
In the case of emergency or on a normal basis?
No, on a normal basis. 7 out of 9 are quorum.
1 second. Even the same law also, there's a stipulation that I gave time frame for you to replace whoever is not there. So the time has elapsed. It's been over, I don't know how long now they've been operating.
But the replacement should be sent by the civil society now, not the superintendent or not the representative. The civil society will send a representation. But because of the dispute, they can't meet. The 2 groups can meet.
Got you. All right, so over to you, Cyrus.
But it disbursed money.
But thank you, gentlemen. CEO, I was just looking at the 9-man council selection process here. It says that on 2.3 composition of the council, and they said the county council should be comprised of the following members: the county council of the chiefs, 3 representatives, 2 chiefs, one of whom should be the head of the council of chiefs, plus an editor appointed by the council. The county women organization, 1 representative. The council youth organization, 2 representatives, a male and a female, one of whom should be head of the organization. The county organization of people with disability, 1 representative, and the county organization of civil society association, 2 representatives, a male and a female, one of whom should be the head of the organization. But there we go. With what we have seen already here, I'm not sure if the council, if the procedure has been followed in Nimba County. I heard the previous speaker talk about civil society. It's just not civil society alone. not civil society alone. So youth organization, women organization, one person. So I haven't been in Sanako lately. Do we have women representation? Do we have youth representation too selected?
So, Sarah, so to answer your question, we have all these people on board. I think the only absent we have is the folks from the civil society group and the folks too from, I think, disabled one person is not there. That's what I'm told. But the real issue here is that law you read. These people are dealing with money and project, but there is no criteria for their selection process. They're not telling us what are the criteria you need to have before you be selected on the board. They just say elders. You go, you grab one elder from there, you bring them. Whether the person know about money, they don't know about money. So that's the problem we are facing in the county right now.
No,
Junior,
they said here there is a criteria. They said the person, there's the criteria and manner of selections of members of the council shall be as follows. No member of a county administration shall be a member of a county council. B, shall be a Liberian citizen. So it means that must have obtained the age of 25, must be of good moral standing, must have a minimum capacity to speak in the local language or read and write English, must be a taxpayer, or must have performed a minimum of 144 hours of community service in the year immediately prior to nomination. Such as service must be certified by nominees, community leaders, or town chiefs. So it's
my issue is not with that. Like I said, those things are very good criteria that we need. But do we need it for people who are taking care of money, who are implementing projects? No. We need well-versed people, well-educated people. You can't say bring youth representative, and the guy who is on the board as youth representative, if you call that guy to get information from him, he doesn't pick up your call.
Well,
he don't.
So, General, I think you're bringing different debate into this whole thing. So, in a representative, the House of Representatives, I want to believe that you have read the criteria of our representatives, the lawmakers in this country. Okay,
the entire constitution is BS. That portion of the constitution is BS. We shouldn't apply it to everything.
Well, so it's what we have now. Okay. So let's go to what is happening in Nimba County. Junior, it's not even all education, and I don't know which one we're talking about, or having a degree doesn't really mean you are educated. Let's get some pictures here. Education comes in different forms and manners. Okay. You could be cleverly educated, writing and speaking book and have a degree, but does not have the common sense. You have to have some common sense. You graduate from the university of common sense. You have to have some level of commitment and loving your country and making sure that your country comes first, putting your country first. So all of these things, when they are missing, that's why you see we have a bunch of stuff going on in this country, because people want to come and reap the country and go sit down somewhere in different country to enjoy themselves. So that's why we're having problem in Liberia. Sometimes I refer to as mental slavery in this country. One day it will shape our nation in a different direction. But that debate or conversation for another day. What is happening in Nimba County, you don't have to have a degree. It's just that this same corruption that is coming from the society is transforming into Nimba County, and it's just bad for our country. Okay, I see no reason why even blame Cole here. Cole is just a supervisor. I would say that just the simple way. But you got people who serve on the board, and you have people who receiving tons of money, leaving from Morovia to go to Niba County to gain another money to go to districts and action to call and say, you know what, the county representative team, the council, whatever they call themselves, they will make recommendation to call and say, you know what, we need hand point in this place, we need this one in this one, we need to at least go will be able to dwell on those things and make those progress. But they want to go for the peanut because they have made commitments to some people. They want to rent girls apartments. They have to go for the money.
Buying small cars and all that.
Buying small cars, buying whatever they can do. So now the other day I said here on the show, how many of them, since they got that money, how many of them in our district now doing project? To say, okay, the money we received already, I have used this one in this village. So you see, this is a problem we have. CEO, it's all about commitment to your country, loving your country, and making sure that you care about the people. But our folks don't. Their whole life is about.
When they give him credit, they don't say lawmaker then. They don't say the county council. They say soup. So it comes with the territory, right? The group will give you credit where credit is due, and then we will question you where we have to question you. You are our leader there in the county, so whatever goes wrong, we'll come to you. We'll ask you a question about this. So yeah, over to you. You can wrap it up.
CEO, 1 minute though, one second.
Yeah.
1 second.
There's another thing that I want to stress out here, right? All right, because when a policy is made, right, they do have room for amendment. If we feel in Nima County that the laws that govern us in terms of our financial management is not right, we can go back to the drawing board to make some amendment. This is where, I'm holding, the superintendent to, liable, because all these laws, I believe that it might have been reviewed by her before taking office or after taking office. If there is anything in there you feel that that policy is not law and gospel, unless somebody is protecting it somewhere because of the economic benefit, like the way in which the APN terminal, law were passed to Freeport, that it cannot be reviewed, and every Liberians are dying slowly because of the high tariff and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, we are Liberians. We must be able to take triumph of our own destiny. If we don't do it, do we expect the white man to come to change our life? It would not be. So it questions, our ability to be more professional and aggressive in a respectable or in a constructive sense to say, no, this part of the law, we have to repeat it and we have to amend it so that we can make progress for transparency and accountability.
But quick question for Hodder here, though. Hodder, who's supposed to amend it? Because this law is not written, it's not specific Niba County. It's written for the local governments, including, let me just say all the counties. Okay. So can Cole, even if Cole had identified some stuff, somebody had to mute. I thought if he can mute. Even if Cole had identified some stuff specific to Nimba County, can Cole amend this law in Nimba?
It has to be discussed, because from what I'm told, she is the head of all superintendent in Nimba, in Liberia. She is the head. I think they have a network of county superintendents within Liberia. So I believe they always have quorum to discuss some of these things. There is no way that these laws cannot be in any way, repealed, or it cannot be amended. It can be. But somebody has to take the step. Somebody has to take the lead. Somebody has to make the effort. And it has to be talked about. Nothing is impossible. Even if the very constitution that we consider to be the organic law of the land, at some point in time, if we see that certain thing is not working for us, we can take it to referendum. And there are time for it. And people can do all the articles and make sure that, it's proper put on board, discuss, and it can be done. Nothing is impossible. But all these things has to do with the passion that people have for our nation, our counties.
And lastly,
you have to be a person who has come to lead with reality. You have to be a person who has come to make history. But if you come with the intent of economic benefit, then the law remains like that.
And lastly, the way it is today. And lastly, Hoder, let's be transparent in this conversation. I know the position you are taking to who co-responsible for this. For me, I defer. The fact is that this thing is in the law. I think I will have to read the whole thing tomorrow. So I want to believe, I am of the belief that COLE is implementing what is written, whether it's good or it's bad. That discussion can be for another time. But at this present time, it's I believe it's in the law. So you know that in Nimba County, are you aware at some point in time, one guy was a development superintendent, or he was greatly undermined when he decided to change some things, not in the interest of the representatives at the time when you guys had to have the contest hearing. It was greatly undermined and was later removed. Are you aware of that?
What I'm saying here, let me be on record for this. I'm not saying you should go and change things as an individual for Nimba County. But when you hold an office, right, you do have the responsibility to recommend to other issues or other policies that you feel is not right. Same applies to our constitution, which is the organic law of the land. So you cannot in any way tell me that this thing is a law and gospel. It cannot even be revised to some extent to make a workable tools for us. This is not what I'm saying. And I went further and mentioned to you that there are a network of superintendents within the 15 political subdivision. If all these things is being reviewed by her, there should be something that you can flag out and make sure that this one is not in line with our development agenda. Can we see this?
So if Hoder was a representative today, will Hoder refuse his money? Hoder.
Yeah, go ahead, make a point.
If you were represented today, will you refuse this money? Will you not getting this money?
If I feel
you are represented today, will you not receive this money?
If I feel that it's not in the right direction, I will not receive it. But if I feel
if you feel at this point, if Hoder was represented among the non-representative at 9, right? Whatever number is, if you were part of this current representative team, will you have not received this money?
Well, look at it. I'm not a representative, so how can I receive it? Look at it. I'm not a representative.
No. The question is,
so there's no way I can receive it.
So let me ask you that, Cyrus. Cyrus, you made a point about isn't the law is legal, but man, you criminal justice man, you also know that not everything that is legal is morally correct.
That is correct.
Okay.
He knows.
You can't have people in Bay Vonway looking for safe water to drink, and then you get $10,000 to a district team to go, a representative to go give it to district team. You can't have people in Butuo in need of medication for the clinic, and you take 10 grand, give it to the lawmaker, and the lawmaker go donate that as if that's his own money. So being legal or being in the local government act doesn't mean that it's morally correct. That's where the superintendent comes in. That's where she plays a role. That's why she's the supervisor, and that's why I personally think that she should not have given them that money. Now, another thing that is worth mentioning here, right? We keep forgetting that. Ato said this is not the first time.
He plays dual advocate. That's what I see.
Yeah, so when the soup clarify in your statement, this is not the first time they've done it before. So last year they gave it to them. This is supposed to be legislative engagement. So when you give them this money, they go, they want to know what type of engagement they finish doing the engagement. They're supposed to come back. They're supposed to have report to report to the superintendent. Say the money that we got from so and so this year, the 10,000. This is what we did with it in our respective district. We never heard about it. So if Honorable Gompu Kargon had not come out to say something, and then followed by Honorable
Inability.
Musa Ability, we're never going to know about this $10,000. So, but yeah, so
Business
for
as
me,
usual.
legal stuff I hear about. Not everything is legal. It's also moral.
That's right.
I see the youth chair of MDR Zapile is under the comment section. Hope you're doing well, Chief. I heard something about you trying to resign. I don't know how true that is, but we've been following your. But yeah,
This
over
is a guy who take it one high and pretended that it was for he took it from
yeah.
Sankoga.
the man say you get it man 24 hours to change the hat, to bring the hat. And the next thing you know, you say the man brought the hat. But Honorable Kuka said the hat never came. So that the men have been going back and forth.
But it seems that the man took it one high and pretended that it was he took it from Koga.
But on a serious note, my brother, hold on, our country is at a very interesting point now in history. We are at a delicate
It's at a
road
crossroad.
where now I believe this is going to define the next generation's future. Drugs are not something to play with. Any country that get involved with this drug trafficking and things like that can be very, very. It can end good. And Liberia is so small, and it's one of those underdeveloped countries in the world. Poverty line, we live way below the poverty line. So people are now using the country. Sadly, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist in order to see that our entire security sector, the people, I know people are going back and blaming previous, administration and all that, but shame on every one of them. To see our country being used as a drug trafficking point is sad. Almost $500 million. Then we're talking about drug cartels, the securities. I mean, when you listen to some of the things when you see some of the things that they are doing, it's just sad. My fear is, how do we reinstill trust in our fellow international community to come back and trust Liberia? The Americans that are there now in Liberia, laughing with them, shaking hands, and those people, you and I live in this country, they don't take those things lightly. To build trust, it takes forever. Our president has been making decisions here and there. Not many people who have been named have been arrested or taken to custody, and some of them they just suspend them and they are moving around in Monrovia free. For me, one of the things that really have caught my attention, and I will let you speak to this or give you all the time, has to do with a guy from the private bar there, who I think he's the main architect behind this whole thing. According to them, they have arrested him, but there's no picture, no video footage of his arrest, taking him to court, or taking him to the prison, nothing like that. Most of the people that did, you could see pictures. One of my picking, we saw what they did to my own brother, Bucky Raw, man. And they caught him with $40 worth of grass. They paraded him everywhere. And we're talking about almost $500 million worth of drugs. The person who allegedly mastermind everything, they say the guy in South Beach, but no picture, nothing. And then now people are starting to speculate, and rightfully so. They are starting to speculate and question the security sector. Where you think our country is going, and how do you rate this government, the president, the security sector part? I think is non-existent when it comes to these things. What's your overall view on this whole drugs, Rick Monroe and saga?
One thing I can recommend to people who in authority and our government is that we need to use other countries that experience what we're going through right now as a case study, research them to see how they fight, that drug pandemic in their country and how they crack down on the cartel and their security sector, who is strongly supposed to implement government policy in terms of cracking down on criminals, who intend to, smoke drugs out of, outside and into Liberia, how we can set up the framework and to engage what is happening in Liberia. Because it has to be, a comparative analysis. Let's take country like Bolivar, for example, because it was one of the countries in the Caribbean that was highly, affected. Let's look at Colombia, how these cartels are operating in these areas, and what are they looking for? Why are they passing through, our police department, our joint security sector? Because from the criminal justice background, you get to realize that the cartel will always look for a country that is poor with weak governance system to put money first, get all of the tough guy on their side, and make the government weak, and then it operates. This is what's happening in Liberia right now. But to fight this case in Liberia, you have to be tough. There is no business as usual should be, interplaying here. Where I will see, John Brown as my friend, I cannot, discourage him from doing what is going on. Because at the end of the day, we will be intentionally destroying our nation like the way it is going right now. We will be destroying our nation. But the president must have the courage. The president and vice president must have the courage to ensure that people are placed behind bars. People are arrested, not just to be person of interest, moving in an environment where it's being, polluted by them. No, you got to break the connection. You got to break the chain. This is why, in America, in the 90s, the crack and cocaine pandemic, you see that, most of the court system start to do, long-term sentencing, keeping people behind the bar to discourage them not to have connection with the host, making sure that people have, pardon phrase on our traffic. If a car is going to Nima County, car is coming from Guinea to Liberia, there should be a thorough, pardon phrase. Our checking. This is time that we even put in for the K9 dogs to help us. Because if a government official is riding 100,000 cars, then we cannot put in for a K9 dog to be smelling, packages and goods at our port of entries, at the airport, in the border line, by land and everything. We need to be very active. And even more besides, there are other best brains outside of Liberia that we can encourage, the government can encourage some of them to come and give their quota. We have to help each other. We got to network. We got to tap on other resources, like I said. Read other countries, how they went through this thing and how they fought it and how they make a comeback so that we can make progress. Instead of just doing business as usual, talk about it for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, everybody know each other, everybody are friends, and the law is not working. If we keep on this path, that we voted for Unity Party, we were lead campaigner, we cannot do this, we cannot do that to this other person, we will not be going nowhere. In the governing process, we need to have a serious, lawyers putting pen to paper, making some serious drug policy. If we have one, we have to revise it. We got to start to revise it right now. And some of the provisions have to be non-bailable. If you are caught with this thing, it has to be non-bailable. This is not about time that we use in lukewarm policy that is not working for us. And every diplomatic, opportunity at our port of entries, it should be declared emergency. Even lawmakers should be searched. Diplomats should be searched the same way at the port of entries because we are in crisis. We are in emergency. So we have to suspend and silence some of our diplomatic policy and laws that nobody benefit right now until we can get back to normal. Those are some of the ways.
Do you think the president is handling the right way? What's your take on how far the president, the way in which he has handled it so far? His approach to suspending people, his decision to, fire some people, not all of them. What's your take on President Boakai handling of this drug situation so far?
At this point right now, we have to, do the sharp analysis. We have to be very swift, and we have to just counter check and take a decisive decision that works for us all. This is not about time that, yeah, I was in this position or I'm a darling boy to this person and I'm untouchable. Because any mistake by this government not to reach down to the bottom of this, you make yourself unpopular. Because if you protect somebody with the idea of saying that he's from the ruling party, if we expose him, we're making ourselves weak, you're not doing justice to yourself. You're not doing justice to the nation. I believe that our public policy must be very aggressive when it comes to fighting this drug pandemic in Liberia. Our lawyers must be able to our high court must be able to revise, our drug law to make it more effective and let everybody be able to adhere to it. Some of the diplomatic laws that we have, people just walk through airport, they will just say, oh, Lamartine, don't search it. We have to suspend some of these things. We have to suspend some of these things, for the sake of our nation. It's no disrespect to people who are serving us in the diplomatic sector. But at this point, there should be, some ban placed on some of the policies that give people the opportunity to ride with certain packages that we cannot see in them. It's for the good cause of our nation. And those are some of the things we can do to save these things and make sure that the president be able to send people to jail while they are pending investigation. Because a man cannot be free in your neighborhood. Why ain't he escape overnight?
See, but that political answer you gave me, though, I said, so how would you rank or rate the president handling of the situation so far?
I would give it to you a 6. I'll give it to you a 6. If it is from 1 to 10 and 10 is the higher number, I'll give it to you a 6.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's been wonderful. Great conversation here. I wish that you have been making a regular appearance here, because we need to discuss these things all the time. And that's how our community, especially the young people who look up to someone like Jay Hoda Noah and Sarah, Sam, and all those folks there. So we look forward to hosting you here quite often. I know we've been here for 2 hours, but before we take a leave of you, as we always do, or part of our process here, what's your take on the leadership, the leadership of Nimba County when it comes to the senators and our current vice president, who also hails from Nimba? I know you've been following a lot of the back and forth between MDR, the senators and our vice president overall. What's your take? Do you think Nimba County is getting the fair share of what they voted for?
Yeah. The relationship has not been cordial.
You got a guess, eh?
No. Let's go on.
So my last question was, do you think Nimba is benefiting from this government? Do you think that Nimbayans have benefited, or they're benefiting based on what they put in it? Remember now, without Nimba County, there's no President Bouaka term running about being a president. Without Nimba County vote, there will be no vice president as Vice President Kung. Do you think, from your political landscape or from your political lens, do you think Nimba County is getting the fair share as compared to other folks in the country?
What we gave Unity Party, we have not getting what we expect. We are yet to get what we gave Unity Party in return, because Nimba County is a electoral college in Liberia in the body politics. When people are giving preliminary, results from other counties, the vast majority of Liberians say, you're there wait for Nimba County. Nimba coming. So when people know your strength, in reality, they should serve you what you deserve. This is why you see in central government, Legis is close with the authority to do a housing and population census, to identify populations around the counties. And where we have more population, we serve them with development. And Nimba County has the attraction. This is why Nimba is populated. In terms of university, high schools, mining companies, and you name the rest. So what we gave Unity Party yesterday, we have not getting, our benefit. We are yet to get our benefit. And it is our hope to see the Unity Party giving us what we deserve. Because I was scrolling on Facebook in most recent time, yesterday evening, Senator Moy was in Bond County having a town hall discussion with the Bongis. He named what the government has done in Bond County in terms of groundbreaking of projects. We're talking about sport economy. We're talking about the water and sewer, head office. We're talking about referral hospital, and you name the rest. And folks in government that he named yesterday, I went to school with some of them. He named almost pretty close to 30 young men and women in central government. And what we did differently that we cannot be, incorporated. We understand our role. We are partner to this government. And by that, we just look up to seeing more professional young men, resourceful young men and women being placed in government. And even to have a life-changing project in our counties. NIMA is populated. If the government of Liberia is more sincere enough, NIMA should have one of the airport in Liberia that could serve, from our end all the way to the southeast. You can just land in NIMA County and just get on your car and just go to Grand Jail. Probably within 2.5 hours, you're home. You don't have to pass through the RIA. So we need a life project.
They have airstrip. They have airstrip in San Nicolas. They have airstrip in San Nicolas. When you reach out, RIA, you can take helicopter to go there.
No, we not.
Don't you know that they have an airstrip in San Nicolas?
Because airstrip is. I do know we have. I was born in San Nicolas. Pre-primary is where I started school, behind the administrative building right there. So across the train track is where you're talking about. I know that place very well. The late and former, a county attorney used to live there. Mr. Johnny Carr used to live there. So his children used to take me across the train track. So I know what you're talking about. I'm not talking about airstrip. Brother, we are past the era of airstrip. We are past the level of airstrip. So if you want to give us, some money development that will create job for us, it should be something that will carry, most of our talented and our resourceful young people to keep them in the counties, and they can be here to make life easier. Like what, Senator Prince Moy, catalog yesterday, in his deliberation in the podcast, or probably, the video that I went through.
Thank you so much for being on here. Thank you so much for being on here this evening. Mr. J. Holder Noah, thank you very much for being here. It's been a wonderful conversation. We look forward to having you again, maybe in the middle of this month, so that we can discuss some training issues too in Nima County. Thank you so much for being here this evening. In 2 minutes, give us a parting comment, Chief.
I want to say thanks to the BKS family for having me tonight. It was a wonderful discussion, an issue that has to do with our growth and development in Liberia. We as young people must be up to the task, and we must bring our nation, our district to speed, because it is where we come from. If we can be proud, or if we can take need in the district to develop it, to develop our home, there is no one person will come from the outside to develop our home. It is us Liberians who develop Liberia. Whenever we have the opportunity to serve, it means we have been given the authority to do what is right. Because whatever we do, history is going to judge us. Will you be happy to see a Ghanaians coming from Ghana and then looking at your home look like, where life does not exist, and you have the same experience that the young man has? We have to think twice. We have to put our education to the service of our people. We have to put our experience to the service of our people, because any career, any education that is not to the service of the people is for nothing. And I feel that, some of our statesmen who have served us years back, who are old now, they should be enjoying the environment that they are created, that we are now, leading them. They should be able to enjoy it in their retirement stage. but we cannot forcefully inflate, hardship and bad leadership style on our people. It doesn't mean well. Even the superintendent, we appreciate all of the projects she has done across the county. The one she did in Morovia that has to do with the Nima Lodge, where our sport players sometimes come and stay and go through the county sport meet. It is commendable. Even the presidential suite in Sanikote, it is laudable. We appreciate it. But we believe that accountability and involvement of the citizenry when it comes to, what has to do with development agenda is very much important. Because when people know how you are proceeding, they themselves will not be in dilemma. They will be the one to interpret how you are proceeding with the positions, the affairs of the counties, and they will serve you witness. And by doing that, you are making them to understand, the functionary of the position you serve. And life will be much more better because you will be planning with the people instead of leaving them out. So there is one thing that I want for us to take home today. Thank you, guys, and I hope to appear another time when the opportunity is given me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, Chief.
Thank you, my brother. I will hit you up, and I will look forward to hosting you again. We'll try to do it most often. And then Mavasin said you're coming. You ran away.
All right, thank you.
On the live there watching it. All right, brother. Have a good one. So tomorrow we'll be hosting Senator Darius Dillon. It's going to be a good show tomorrow. Stay tuned. Share the news. Share the news. Carry the news out there. We'll be hosting Senator Darius Dillon tomorrow. It's going to be a really wonderful show. We'll learn a lot. We'll talk to him about everything, Liberia, everything. He's one of the faces of the rescue mission. So we look forward to having a wonderful show tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we'll be hosting Emmanuel Gonkwai, I think he's the chairman or the political leader for the EFF. I forgot the title there. So we have a really packed, a really good week. We had Holder tonight. He really did well. Great show, wonderful show. And then we'll be hosting Senator Darius Dillon tomorrow. So we should come ready and come, to really listen to him. He's going to be speaking. I will be working with Voice of Tapeta and Voice of BKS in Butuo to relay the show. So it's going to be good. To our followers, please help us share the news, share the flyers. Senator Darius Dillon will be our guest tomorrow on BKS TV, The Heat Out. But for me, it has been a great show, Cyrus. I think for me, I still believe that this drug stuff is going to be the defining factor when it comes to the Barkas-led administration. It's a big deal. You got everybody watching him to see what he would do. You can spin it all you want, hide it here and there. It's not Facebook propaganda is going to make this go. You got international community involved. You got the U.S. fully involved. They are not going to send men over there if they are not interested. They got folks from part of Europe who are also interested. So at the end of the day, we'll get to the bottom of it, and I think Liberians deserve better. I think the people should be forefront. They should not be waiting on Martin Colley to release information, and then before you know it, they come out with it. I also think the 48 hours that the president giving all the information that we have available, 48 hours are gone. I think by now we should know about what his decision will be on the LDA bus. But overall, it's been great. I also noticed that Sam Gay, the EPS director, is no longer commenting on Facebook like before. When the thing first started, he's not making posts, he's not commenting like before. It has subsided. The same thing with the IG. So it getting serious, and that's how serious investigations should be handled, not Facebooking. But overall, it's been a great show. We look forward to hosting Senator Darius Dillon here tomorrow, and it's going to be a wonderful show. So great show. So Cyrus,
thank you. See you. Go to Cyrus.
Well, guys, it's great to be here again. What more can we say? We just got to in a Liberian way, popular Liberian way of talking. We're praying for our country. And And I always reminded the Liberian people that prayer goes both ways. If you pray with a dirty heart, it's difficult for your prayer to go through. Your heart gonna be pure and clean for your prayer to go through. We Liberian people, everything we say, let's give it to God. God is not going to come from heaven to do anything for us, unless the Bible, the reason God constituted government on earth is for us to govern ourselves, for us to do the right thing. God is not going to come from heaven to say, I will build a road for you. I will build your schools. I will build your hospitals. Those things will not be done by God. God has given men knowledge for to transform ourselves and make our country
Pastor Sam.
um, beautiful for our citizens. The idea of getting ahead so fast in this country, the love for money is too much. And I can see it. Listen, I love money. But get money the legitimate way. Work for it. Don't get ahead because you want to put other people's life at risk because you alone want to benefit. That does not work for society. I can tell you guys point blank here tonight. When it comes to drugs, the same way you come to receive money, the same way it carries you out, the same way it brings you down. So people who claim to have money in this country, some sort of a way, they will go down. We will encourage the president, even though all is not perfect, the investigation is not the way we're expecting, but at least we are getting there slowly. We are getting there. The news that came out yesterday was that, I think this morning, right? That the prison, there was people were attempting to, but I saw it on Facebook, they said prison boss. There ain't no boss. People attempted to have these folks released. But the guy, the prison, I think prison, one of those is a prison commander or whatever it was. He's saying that they should take this guy from here, either send them to Morocco or either to America, whatever country that they can jail them. But if they remain here, they will one way or the other take them out of here, and they will say, oh, they escape. So there's a lot of things happening in this country, and we're looking forward. Listen, those who behind these things, they need to come up. Let this president do the best thing. I'm glad people who are posting and not posting now are getting serious, I guess. But we look forward to seeing what the outcome of this drug thing will be. I think Hoda said something here. Let's look at the case studies from Bolivia and other places that I experienced these things. Drug is not any good thing for any country. And when it penetrated in society like this, it's difficult for it to go away because these folks know, they identify the loophole of this country. They know it's a loose society. Almost everybody greedy for money. So they already identify. So they will do anything possible to be around here. But we look forward. Let the President Boubacar has one duty, one responsibility, one thing to do for this country. As old as he is, let him stand up for this country. Let the history remember him. That yes, we had an old president who fought. This is a challenge to his administration and to the leadership, to the young folks in this country. Wish him well. Let him go and do the right thing and save this country. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, CEO, and thank you to our guest, Mr. Noah, for being here this evening. And thank you to all of our followers, to those of you who are listening to us via Facebook and YouTube. We say thank you. Tomorrow, like the CEO said, we'll be hosting Montserrat County Senator April Ndaris Dillon. It's going to be a mouth-watering show here tomorrow. We ask you to tune in your numbers, share the show with people. The flyers on our page on Facebook. You can go to share it too as well. It's going to be a great one. From my end, I want to say good night. Have a pleasant good night. We're going to be back here tomorrow again.
Good night, gentlemen.